Remember Reprocess from Urza Saga? Well, today we're playing the new version from Outlaws of Thunder Junction called Pitiless Carnage and Mono Black Storm and Legacy. Let's go check it out. What exactly is Pitiless Carnage? So it's like Reprocess, as I mentioned. So instead of 2 and 2 black, it's 3, 1 black. It has plot for 1 and then 2 black. So 3 mana total. And then the card text is almost identical. Reprocess indicates artifacts, creatures, lands, I believe. And Pitiless Carnage is any permanent type, and then you draw that many cards based on how many things you sacrifice. Okay, so why is that good here? So in the past, I've tried to play Song of Creation in this older style of Mono Black Saga Storm, because it makes a lot of sense. You have Mox Opals, Mishra's Baubles, Urza's Baubles, but when you play Song of Creation in a Mono Black deck, it's really tough to cast it naturally, which ends up being a problem. On top of that, if you have Infernal Tutor, you have to sacrifice your hand to make mana with Lion's Eye Diamond, so that way you meet the Hellbent requirement. And then if you were to Beseech the Mirror into Song of Creation to play her on Graveyard Hate, all of a sudden you don't have a hand. So you have nothing to play into the Song of Creation. Well, with Pitiless Carnage, you can then, instead of having to go get Beseech the Mirror into whatever, you can just go get the Carnage, sacrifice a bunch of Mishra's Baubles that you have in play, and then, or, you know, Urza Saga, Construct Tokens, Vault of Whispers, whatever, and then just draw a bunch of cards. And then what's kind of cool about that is you could then replay all of those cards too with Gaia's Will into Tendrils of Agony. I don't know why you would need to Pitiless Carnage before you Gaia's Will, but it's a world you could live in. Another thing I didn't really like about the Black Saga Storm deck I recorded last week, you can find that video on the card above, that featured Lavaspur Boots, which I really do think is the best card out of the new set, is that it has this really great sideboard juke of Leyline of the Void, Helm of Obedience. So I just said that I don't like it, but the secret is that I do. But the problem is that if you don't mulligan to Leyline of the Void, the Helm plan becomes terrible. So in order to support that, I'm playing extra Helm effects with Dauthi Voidwalker today, and that's going to be a difference between last week's deck list and then today's deck list. Let me know what you think of this deck list in the comment section down below, but for now, I want to hop on in and play some Legacy Magic the Gathering. I know that's why you're here, so I will see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We're on the draw, and I'm going to try this. It's actually pretty good. We're really close to a clean Beseech the Mirror win. Alright, so we have a Duress. It looks like our opponent's playing a deck with counter magic in it. Thoughtseize. So we will lead on the Aghanim Awakening. We'll lose 3 life. And then let's play Duress. They cast a Crop Rotation, and they find Urza Saga. Sure. Stifle. Okay. Not really sure what we're facing here, but you got it. We'll play a couple copies of Urza's Bauble and pass the turn. Urza Saga now goes to the second chapter. Rashad and Port. And step will Urza's Bauble them. They drew the boots. Okay. We'll draw 2 cards here off of the Urza's Bauble. They'll tap our land. Sure. So we're 1 mana away from a clean win here. Draw step. Not quite good enough. Okay, so I am going to pass the turn here. Urza Saga taps for a mana because they could not make a construct token. So they have 1 colorless floating, and now they're searching their deck for an artifact that costs either 0 or 1. Soul Guide Lantern. Are we going to use Pitiless Carnage in the first game? Sure. Elvish Reclaimer, Boots. And now they have a 4/4 haste. You got it. Another Lion's Eye Diamond. I really wish that these Lotus Petals were Chrome Moxes right now. Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. We will use the Lotus Petals for mana. And then cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain. Is this... geez. So this would be a draw 2 if I want to use Lion's Eye Diamond for mana? So bad. We know that the last 2 cards in their hand are Maze of Ith. I've wasted the Storm count by... Maybe I was just supposed to pass here. That might have been the move. So Beseech would be 6. Beseech would be 7. Beseech would be 8. Tendrils would be 9. So I would need them to be at 1 less life for a lethal win here. Or if I had 1 more mana. Yeah, I think I made a mistake by playing out my card. So the question is, what do we do now? I think I need to pass. I just wasted 5 Storm. They play a Yavimaya. They should attack here. They already have my graveyard locked down. Urza's Saga. We'll play that. Pass the turn. I'm sure they're going to go grab a Wasteland now. They grab their own Urza's Saga. Interesting. And now the Maze of Iths make mana. My Construct token won't likely deal damage. They make a Construct. They can equip it with Boots. Okay, so now they're attacking for 7. Now or never. We draw our Boots. Alright, let's play Boots. Storm 1. I'd have to be very lucky to win this game, I think. Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing Boots. And in response, we'll add 3 black. Storm is 2. I think we just have to grab it here. We'll cast Pitiless Carnage. Storm is 3. Question is, do I accept it as a draw 3 and keep the... Like, is Lion's Eye Diamond worth more than a random card / Storm? I think so, but it being a draw 3, I might not draw a tutor. We have 3 Beseech the Mirrors and 4 Infernal Tutors, and if I draw Infernal Tutor, I need the diamond in play. So we're going to do a very sad draw 3. I drew Infernal Tutor, but that's not good enough to win here. We lose game 1 to the main deck Soul Guide Lantern. I added in this card to not lose to Graveyard Hate, and we did anyway. Yikes. Small sample size of 1 game, but it's worth noting. Okay, so we probably want to try the Helm combo. We're going to bring in our Ley Lines. I don't really like Empty the Warrens versus lands because they have Tabernacle, so we're not going to do that. We'll bring in the Haywire Might, get rid of the Lava Spur Boots. And I think here is a matchup where you get 69 cards. Nice. Where you can afford to take out some of the Duress. We want to leave Thoughtseize for now, and then you could probably cut some copies of the Baubles. So let's get rid of Urza's Bauble first. And then if we're boarding in the Leyline package, you don't need the Pitiless Carnage, so that can go to the sideboard. We'll try... Let's get rid of 1 more Bauble. Okay, we're on the play for game 2. Double Infernal Tutor Saga. I think we can do better than this, but also I would like to note, we lost game number 1 because I made a mistake. I shouldn't have played out those cards. If I was a little bit more patient, I think we probably would have won that. Okay, so this is a potential win on turn 2. We will keep and bottom Infernal Tutor. Leyline of the Void. Let's try an Urza's Saga. No Force of Vigor there, that's a good sign. Mox Opal. We'll sacrifice the Lotus Petal for a black. Dark Ritual. Tap the Urza Saga for mana. Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing the Mox Opal. We'll grab Helm of Obedience. It resolves. So there's a couple cards that would be bad for us. So Force of Vigor, not a card I want to see. Wasteland right now destroys my Urza Saga. A blue land could represent Stifle. We saw Stifle in game number 1. They play the Waterlogged Grove. We draw a Lotus Petal. We'll play it and pass. We just have to look for an opening where they don't have a blue mana open. I mean, I could go for it now, but we still have Thoughtseize in our deck. I'm going to feel so silly if I get stifled. How many stifles do we even think that they're playing? But if I give them more time, then they're more likely to draw into Stifle. I have 4 Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to just activate it. If they have Stifle, they have Stifle. And they do have it. So we'll get to try it again next turn. Beseiju Who Endures. And they concede. Nice. I'm going to try something a little bit bold here in game 3. I'm going to board out the remaining Mishra's Baubles for Duress. And see how this goes. Well, we have the graveyard on lockdown, that's for sure. It doesn't really do a whole lot, though. I think I'll keep it. It might be a really bad idea, but I'm going to try it. Leyline of the Void into play. We're going to keep the other one in hand to exile to a copy of Chrome Mox. Wasteland into Grafdigger's Cage. Sure. This does not stop Beseech the Mirror. Beseech the Mirror casts cards from exile. And it looks like now I don't even need to play into... I guess I didn't need to previously anyway, but I can hold this land in our hand. Dauthi Voidwalker. Force of Vigor. Not very nice. Pass the turn. Another Wasteland. I hope that Dauthi Voidwalker goes the distance. Basic Swamp, just like we drew it up. Aya. They find a Hedge Maze. They still have 2 cards in hand. They exiled Exploration. Lion's Eye Diamond. Swing. And we can pass the turn from here. Infernal Tutor, I believe, is our best draw. Actually, Beseech the Mirror does it too. Thoughtseize, okay. Swing. So you might be wondering, why don't you play the Thoughtseize? I don't want to play Thoughtseize into a Veil of Summer here. And if I hold this a little bit longer, they're choked on mana. So now 1 more mana in play, and I can Thoughtseize into Beseech the Mirror. And if they're holding open like double counterspell or something like that, it makes them... They're pressured to do... They either respond or show me their hand and give me that information. So I'm going to sit still instead of like try to rush into something. There's a Saga, sure. Leyline of the Void. We need 1 mana. Get in there. They are now at 5. Wasteland number 3. Not good here. There's a mana. Swing. My creature has Shadow. Alright, let's attempt a Thoughtseize. Double Stifle, Surgical Extraction. What's really funny about this is that if they stifle my Tendrils of Agony, they still lose the game. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. We will cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing Mox Opal. We'll grab Tendrils of Agony. Stifle this. Alright, Storm Trigger has been stifled. You lose 2 life, I gain 2 life. That's just good, clean, fair match at the Gathering. Boom. 1-0. See you in the second match. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we've won the die roll. Let's go. Okay, so double Beseech the Mirror isn't the best, but I do think that this is a reasonable enough hand. Dark Ritual is quite a good draw. So we'll use the Mishra's Bauble as a cantrip. We'll try to make some educated decisions and go from there. We'll look at their top card. Grief. No one likes you. Thoughtseize. Okay, we're playing the boogeyman of the format. We'll take the Daze. Actually, no, let's take the Force of Will. We can play through Daze later. Lion's Eye Diamond. They play Grief, exiling an Orcish Bowmasters. They take my Thoughtseize, okay. Another Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play the Saga. Let's play out the diamonds and pass. Infernal Tutor just became our best draw. They pick up Undercity Sewers, and they kept the card on top. That's scary. So they play the known Underground Sea. We don't know what the new card was. Well, there is Infernal Tutor. Okay. Hold Control, put Infernal Tutor on the stack. We will add black. If you drew Force of Will, I will cry. Infernal Tutor has resolved. We select Beseech the Mirror, and now we will cast Beseech the Mirror, bargaining away Vault of Whispers. They brainstorm. Okay, Storm is now 3. Beseech the Mirror back on the stack. Another brainstorm. Beseech the Mirror? Why not? Let's grab another Beseech the Mirror. It's kind of free to do so. Sacrifice the Urza Saga. And now we will grab Gaia's Will. Play the Gaia's Will. Sweet. And now we'll bring in our sideboard plan that is very anti-Reanimator. Get rid of the boots, I think. And the baubles are actually really bad against Orcish Bowmaster, so I don't want those in the deck. Don't want the Pitiless Carnage either. Let's bring in the Empty the Warrens. Try this. Sure. Keep Leyline of the Void. And we'll keep the other one in hand for a potential Chrome Mox. Grief exiling Orcish Bowmasters. Unfortunately, I have Dauthi in my hand, so they could play Reanimate on Dauthi Voidwalker. And that's probably why they're taking it here. Okay, no Reanimate. Maybe an Animate dead next turn. We'll play Vault of Whispers, Lotus Petal, and then pass the turn. Undercity Sewers. Fluted Delta. No Reanimate on the second turn. Geisville was not the draw step that I wanted. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're going to try to play through it. They select an Undercity Sewers. Underground Sea. Infernal Tutor. Not the best here. I'm going to play the Agadeem's Awakening. Because if I play the Urza Saga here, I'm going to end up short on making a construct somewhere in the middle. And I want to maximize my construct beatdown plan. Because right now I think our opponent's struggling with the ley line. Ooh, they have... No, they're flashing in the Borrower. I thought they were going to Petty Theft. Interesting. They think that this game is a race. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. End step, we will make a construct. And I regret boarding out my boots now. There's a Lotus Petal. Create another construct. We'll grab Mox Opal. Let's suspend the guy as well. We'll play Saga. And I could play out the Lotus Petal here, but I'm trying to think of what I could possibly lose to. And I have seen a lot of Pest Control and Engineered Explosives out of these decks. And our opponent not playing, or not using the Borrower here, makes me think that they have an answer. And well, they have Dress Down. Okay. Okay. I'm going to play the Petal post-combat if that was their answer. They cast Ponder. Reanimate on the Dauthi Voidwalker. It is a race. Okay, I go to 11. Really wish I had those boots right now. Chrome Mox. They have 3 cards in hand. We'll play the Chrome Mox. Imprint. So I can't race them with Construct, so I think that maybe I'm supposed to just try to win. They Force of Will. Alright. Now they attack for 6, I'll fall to 5. Yeah, not having the Lava Spur Boots was the difference in this game, it looks like. I need a very good draw step and for them to not have counter magic in hand. Chrome Mox is not going to do it here, unfortunately. We'll make another construct. If I had the boots, this was a win. I guess we're going to have to change our board plan for game 3. Lesson learned. Stop boarding out the Lava Spur Boots. Maybe 1 Chrome Mox? On the play for game 3. Sure. Leyline of the Void. So a Dark Ritual could win this game for us. Play Duress. Force of Negation, Brainstorm. Murktide Regent. Alright, we'll take the Force of Negation. They do have double Dress Down, so this is not going to be a very good Saga game for us. We draw the guys well. Perfect, perfect. No complaints here. We'll pass the turn. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to suspend the guy as well because Dark Ritual literally wins the game if I draw it. Or Mox Opal could be very good. So burning one of my Lotus Petals to suspend this seems very suspicious to me. They found Underground Sea, but no shuffle effect here. Grief exiling, Reanimate. They take my Beseech. Now it might be time to suspend the guy as well. They play Ponder to shuffle here, most likely. They're probably getting rid of the Murktide Regent, if I had to take a wild guess. And there's the Dark Ritual we needed. Okay. I will suspend the guys, well. We're playing for the long game. Null Rod. It's not very nice of you. But it is beatable. Mox Opal. Guys will again. And now we just draw nothing but 0-mana artifacts. Okay. Opponent with 5 cards in hand now. Beseech the Mirror does not help me. Instead, they flash in a Dress Down. Dauthi Voidwalker. And now the guy's will come off of Suspend. We'll play it. Somehow that resolves. We draw a land. So if I want to disrespect the opponent, in theory, we could try to... No, with the Tendrils in hand, I don't even know if that works. Oh, the Vault of Whispers also doesn't tap for mana because of the Null Rod. Ah, jeez. So I guess we just duress them here. We'll take the Force of Will. Play the Lotus Petal. They attack for 3. Ouch. Throw Mox. Yeah, things are not looking good. They bounce our Leyline of the Void. We'll just discard it. And they play a Ponder. Another Dothy Voidwalker and Wasteland. We draw the Saga now that they've played Wasteland. Yeah, I don't think we're going to win this. I'm just going to pick it up and save some time. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match 3, we're on the draw against someone who typically plays Red-Black Reanimator, but has a history of playing Delver variants. Unmask, targeting themselves. This is a turn 1 Gristlebrand, Lotus Petal, and Animate Dead. They play Grief, exiling Gristlebrand. Goodbye, Beseech the Mirror. They go to 5. Another Grief, exiling Entomb. Takes Mox Opal. Unmask. Probably taking the Lotus Petal here. And another Unmask, okay. Sure. We draw Thoughtseize. Not a very good draw step. We'll play the Saga. Mishra's Bauble. Pass the turn. They attack for 6. I'll fall to 14. They play Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize on themselves for Archon of Cruelty. Animate Dead on the Archon. I'll discard Thoughtseize. So how we win this game is that I draw Dark Ritual for turn, or off the Bauble, and then we draw with our other card, Beseech the Mirror. So Urza's Bauble. Don't think that's going to do it. Yeah, we're dead on board. Alright, Reanimator, we want the Helm of Obedience package. Board out the Pitiless Carnage. I feel bad that we're siding it out every round, but we just haven't had the matchups for it. I'm going to try leaving in Lava Spur Boots this time. I mean, if you go back and look at match number 2, if we left it in the deck in game 2, I think we win that match. So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it's a learning process as well. On the play, this is a turn 1 win. We will keep. It's also a turn 1 win that doesn't show them any of our graveyard hate for game 3. Vault of Whispers. Lotus Petal. Chrome Mox will imprint the Thoughtseize. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Can we do this without playing Guy's Will? That's another question. So we'll Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Vault of Whispers. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice the Mox Opal. Grab another Beseech the Mirror. It looks like we're going to be short. Yeah, we could do 18, which just, it's not enough. We'll grab Guy's Will. And then with Guy's Will on the stack, we're going to make some black mana. And the way that I did this with triple Beseech the Mirror, it actually helps us play around. If they were to have Fairy Macabre in hand, we might have been able to beat it here. And we're off to game number 3. Perfect. Resubmit the same 75. On the draw, I don't think we're allowed to keep this. I mean, I want to keep, we're just not allowed to. Send it back. No, we're going to 5. No Leyline again. Our opponent has kept 7 as Reanimator. We're going to 4. Probably the best hand so far. Bottom, the Guy's Will, the Mox Opal, Dark Ritual. Okay, 4 cards. Leyline of the Void. They unmasked. They'll take my Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's see if Urza Saga can go the distance. Vault of Whispers pass. They pick up a Bayou and cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Dark Ritual. Is this Grief Beatdown? It is, so they'll discard my Infernal Tutor here. Chrome Mox was the draw. We have to pass the turn, unfortunately. They swing for 3, we'll go to 17. They cycle another Troll of Khazad-dûm. It's basic Swamp. Maybe they're not playing any Surveil lands? We drew one of the few cards here that doesn't help us create a construct token. That is so frustrating. Ah, come on, deck. We'll play boots. Pass the turn. Any imprintable, a land. We had so many hits. I don't know if we're going to be able to race them now. They'll discard my Chromox. And we're going to fall to 14. Alright, so if we can draw into like a Dark Ritual, maybe there's a chance. Grab the Mox Opal. We only have 3 mana, so I have to pass the turn. They swing, we'll fall to 11. They have land number 5. Another Beseech the Mirror. Okay, we're going to 8. Our time is running out. Chain of Smog. No way. Hitting both my Beseech the Mirrors. Come on. I was just thinking about how I was discard proof here. I guess we'll target them. Brutal. Land 3. I'm afraid we're not going to be able to do this. So my next 2 draw steps would have to be like Dark Ritual Beseech the Mirror or Dark Ritual Helm itself. I guess I could draw Infernal Tutor into Dark Ritual as an out. Alright, well, Lion's Eye Diamond gives me Infernal Tutor as an out to win the game. I have 3 Infernal Tutors. No, Infernal Tutor doesn't win the game here because I can't activate the Helm of Obedience. So I might just be dead. No, I have 1 more turn. Okay. No, I don't, because they're about to attack me. So are we deterministically dead? We might be. The difference was I didn't draw a card for that Chromox. We ripped the Infernal Tutor, but the Helm doesn't win. Oh, I can Beseech win. Did I actually just top deck the win here? Okay, let's Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Mox Opal. Let's grab Guy as well. Cast it. Holy moly. Took me a second to realize that we did in fact have the win. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. I guess we'll play Chromox for Storm. Make some black and they concede the match. Wow. That was a nail biter. We're now 2-1. Should maybe be 3-0 with some better sideboarding, but this deck list feels pretty good. Despite Pitiless Carnage not really seeing a whole lot of play, but the sideboard juke looks really good. Let's see if we can get the next 2 matches. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, time for the 4th round. We're on the play versus Death, Metal, and Taxes. And our hand doesn't really play Magic the Gathering, so we're going to send it back. This seems like a reasonable hand. We'll keep and put Duress on the bottom. We'll begin by dealing ourselves 3 damage and then making it 5 with Thoughtseize. This again? Lame. Alright, so we're facing our Scaminator. We'll take Grief, play out a Bobble, pass the turn. Underground Sea into Ponder most likely, and that is in fact the play. We'll use our Bobble. We see Entomb again. Dark Ritual off the top rope. We draw the Pitiless Carnage. I'm worried about the Grief being reanimated, but I can't really do anything right now, so I think I'm supposed to pass. And our opponent did not shuffle off of the Ponder, by the way. They play a 2nd copy of Underground Sea, so that's one of their unknown cards. Infernal Tutor doesn't really help me here. I'm going to pass. And step Orcish Bowmasters, surprise, surprise. Dauthi Voidwalker. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we're in trouble. Chromox. Okay, I have an idea here. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but we're going to plot the Pitiless Carnage. And then next turn, hopefully we draw another 0, and then I can Infernal Tutor for a protection spell into the Pitiless Carnage, and then try to win that way. Ponder again from the opponent. Wasteland. Don't love that. And now they're attacking for 5? Yeah, I'm not liking our odds right now. And I drew a card I cannot get Hellbent with. Let's try Infernal Tutor, see if we can draw out the days. Reveal Lotus Petal. I guess we're going to play the Pitiless Carnage into Orcish Bowmasters. Assuming they don't just have Force of Will. And they do. So we'll pass, and then they'll attack us down to 2. Now, I'm not sure how we could possibly win from here. Alright, 2 life. We'll play Chromox. So I can Beseech 3 times, so that's Storm 5 into Tendrils, which is 6, which just isn't nearly enough. Actually, there's already a Beseech in exile, so that's only 5. Let's just go to game 2. If you go back and look at that game, the Wasteland was really the deal breaker because we got them to force will exiling the Daze on the Carnage. And if we still had that extra land, I could have then played Beseech, sacrificing the Chrome Mox and potentially gotten a win. But that's just not how the game shook. So unfortunate for us. But now our back is up against the wall and we need to win the next 2. So far, I'm not super impressed with Pitiless Carnage. I think it was better in theory than in practice. Like having all of the baubles and stuff seemed really good to me. But without a real way to gain card advantage, it just seems like not a useful card. Like if you had like a Song of Creation or something, but like if you have Song of Creation, then you don't need the Pitiless Carnage. So maybe the card's just not good enough. Turn 1 Dothy. We could probably try this. Chrome Mox. Imprint the Agadeem's Awakening. Dothy Voidwalker. Lion's Eye Diamond and we'll pass the turn. Underground Sea. Brainstorm. I would love to draw a Thoughtseize or Duress here. Mox Opal. Swing. Play the Mox Opal. Play Infernal Tutor. They allow it to resolve. Let's grab another Dothy Voidwalker. That resolves. I'm going for the beatdown plan. Wasteland. Orcish Bowmasters doesn't really matter here. Our creatures have shadows, so our opponent's not going to be able to block unless they find their own Orcish Bowmasters. Swing, swing. I'm sorry, their own Dothy Voidwalkers. I said Orcish Bowmasters, that doesn't make any sense. They fetch with Misty Rainforest, likely getting another Underground Sea. Another Orcish Bowmasters. They still cannot block, though. Goodbye, Vault of Whispers. They swing for 3. I will fall to 15 life. Beseech the Mirror. We cannot play it, but we can attack for 6. So this will put them down to 4 when we have lethal on board at that point. So our opponent needs an answer to at least one of the Dothy Voidwalkers. Sweet. Off to game 3. Bryant Cook, known aggro player. Maybe I should have the empty in. Pretty bad against Bowmasters, though. I'm not sure what I'd actually want to cut from our deck. Yeah, I'm just going to resubmit. Now this is a hand. We're going to keep this. Big fan. I guess the one problem is if I get the Helm discarded, then all of my graveyard hate is just graveyard hate and it's not a combo win. But we're going to keep it anyway. Wonder with a mulligan. I think my best draw is like a Chrome Mox, because that would allow me to play discard spell into Helm on the first turn. Glad I did not board out a Chrome Mox for Empty the Warrens right now. Underground Sea. And they're passing. Lion's Eye Diamond is not terrible, so we'll play out the Diamond. Mox Opal. Let's try a Thoughtseize. Okay. We'll take Daze. And then we'll Duress away the Force of Will. We actually have a win next turn, assuming our opponent doesn't top deck on us. They play the Swamp. There's a Dothy. Looks like they're passing. Yes, so we could even pay for Daze here using the Lion's Eye Diamond. Dark Ritual. Helm of Obedience. My opponent just said, that's sweet. GG's. Thanks. I mean, I like the Helm sideboard plan. I do think it's a little bit better when you have Dothy Voidwalker in your deck, but here we are not using it. And we get to see our opponent's entire deck. One of the last cards revealed was a Powder Keg. And we win. Alright, 3-1, 1 match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The final round, we're on the draw. I think I'm going to try this. Flooded Strand. For Underground Sea. Ponder. Is this Scaminator again? It is! Alright, well, this is Legacy these days. Hopefully they take not the Mox Opal. Sweet. They left me with Mox Opal. That was a good draw. We'll play Urza Saga. Bobble. Opal. Pass the turn. No Wasteland. Tundra. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Okay. It was not Pest Control. But they are playing Pest Control. They have the Tundra. It's something we need to be worried about. We draw a Bobble. Play the Bobble. Pass the turn. Land number 3. They swing in for 2. We'll fall to 18. On the end step, we will create a construct. And I'm going to leave the Bobbles in play. Any imprintable or land allows me to equip boots. And I drew the boots. Come on. Alright. Lava Spur Boots and I are just not good friends. They're fetching with this search on the stack. They have 2 cards in hand. We'll grab another Bobble. Chromox. And Chromox. We will not imprint. Attack for 9. Pass the turn. Sweet. The tokens got there. Our opponent is playing the Pest Controls in their deck. We saw the White Splash, so that is something to be nervous about. Definitely not interested in Empty the Warrens. And now we're going to bring in our, graveyard package that we've used all league long. Probably the highlight of the deck we're playing tonight is just how good Dauthi Voidwalker has been in conjunction with Leyline of Void plus Helm of Obedience. We'll submit. Sure, why not? Keep Leyline of the Void. They play Polluted Delta and Grief Exiling Troll of Khazad-dûm. I'm willing to bet that they take my Dauthi Voidwalker here. Shame. They have 4 cards remaining. Beseech the Mirror is quite the draw. We'll just play our land and pass. They select Tundra and cycle another copy of Troll of Khazad-dûm. So something I want to do here is not play into the Pest Control. So we're going to hold back our artifacts, despite our opponent having a lot of discard. Okay, land go. Orcish Bowmasters has entered the party. Basic Island, they have 3 cards. I could use a discard spell here. That'll clear the way for this Beseech. Infernal Tutor. Maybe we're supposed to just try and back-to-back turns instead? Does make me weak to Pest Control, though. Blind's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. Chromox. No imprint. And we will Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing Chromox. They hardcast Daze. I mean, if they have a Force in hand, this is a really good play. We'll add 3 black. Pay for the Daze. Please resolve. Holy moly, it resolved. Helm of Obedience. Play Helm? So the only match we lost is the match where I was dumb enough to board out Lava Spur Boots. Wow. Okay, so I think that the Leyline of the Void Helm Dauthi package was incredible. That said, we did get paired against roughly 4 Reanimator style strategies. So it was favorable in this league. I think that Pitiless Carnage, unfortunately, probably just isn't good enough. But there's something here. Maybe you drop the Echoes, or I'm sorry, you drop the Bobbles for the Entomb Echo package and just don't play Bowmasters. I mean, the deck list that I played the other day, which is here, this is the deck list that has been doing really well in some of the challenges. I just felt like there was something flawed here when I played it. It didn't feel that great to me. So maybe you could play the same main deck and then play the Dauthi Voidwalker package in the sideboard here as well. But I think that Cabal Therapy as a 2-of always felt a little sketchy. I was burned multiple times by only having 1 copy of Tendrils of Agony, that sort of stuff. And Bowmasters never felt great to me during the league either. So maybe you could combine these 2 lists into something a little bit better. I'm not sure. If you have ideas, put those in the comment section down below. Make sure to link your Mox fields. And thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a terrific day. And as always, keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.